Oh, don't do that. So I'm making tiny balls here. I have a lot of little cut silver. Bringing y'all in. Sorry for the shaky cam. We've got a couple balls here, and they're roughly the same shape. So we got that. I made this ring shank. It's kind of got a tapered back with a fatter front. I made this, on the roller mill very quickly. Comfort inside on the D, so it makes like a rounded inside, and it's kind of flat on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of those balls, maybe 2, maybe 3, and just try to melt them onto the top of this ring shank, right on the fat side. Kind of as gemstones, kind of sitting a little proud, so there we go. Now, what's going to be the problem here? Right, the problem is, these tiny balls are going to want to just melt again. We've got to kind of prevent that from happening. I'm going to drill little holes, maybe little divots, like a golf ball, on the top of here with the ball burr. Kind of get a little seating so they don't roll around. I'm going to try to fuse them using just fire, no solder. I could easily solder these on, but that would defeat the purpose, I think. Because the solder would build up and it would look stupid. So we don't want that. And they're also kind of thin and fine. So that's why I kept this ring shank quite beefy so that I can work harden the ring shank later. It's 3.5 mil wide. The back end is 2.8 mil. But the whole thing is 1/8/9 thick. A lot of meat to work with. This is a soldered band. I soldered it in the back end somewhere here. So that solder joint will become proud and corroded again, no doubt, as soon as we hit it with fire. I've drilled out 3 starters just to place the balls on the fat side, hopefully in the dead center. After balancing these 3 balls, I see why nobody does this anymore. They're just kind of sitting in the grooves I cut. Maybe they'll stick. I'm going to heat up the ring shank here. I think I've been giving a lot of heat to the third hand here. One of the things that is kind of cool is you see the ball. You can see the reflection of the ball on the surface of the ring shank, which is super cool. And I kind of saw the surface of the ring shank go wet, and that wet, super reflective look is right when it's at the melting point. So I'm just going to touch these. Oh, that one's loose. This one in the center did not fuse. So this is my first time doing this, so I'm sorry. I'm not an expert here. I think it's kind of odd how the sides fused correctly, but the center did not. So the ball went wet, which is not what I was intending on doing. Oh, see the middle? He didn't fuse well. I wonder if he's got something underneath him. We're just going to take him off. He loses his privileges. Well, this is kind of funny. It's kind of a funny looking design. Oh, did I get that one to come off? Yep. Can I get that one to move? No. Okay. This one did well. This one did not do well. And the one in the center sucked. Oops. Alright, we'll go again. I did the right thing. The surface is a little eggshelly on some of them, so clean that up. I got the little polish on the new one I put in the center. So hopefully that polish just magically fixes whatever was wrong. I bet there's some impurities on the outside. Maybe I should have pickled, but fuck it. I'm not doing that. That's effort. Oh wow, okay. I saw the light there, just for a second. So I think this one worked a lot better. I saw the whole system go wet for just a second, and then I pulled it right off. Yep, that looks good. It sounds like someone's cleaning your teeth, but that looks solid. So I'm going to quench this. Give me that. Thank you. We're going to quench this. This is hot. Thank you for your service. Yeah, we got a good Mickey Mouse kind of granulation going on. It looks pretty silly. There's the solder joint I talked about. You can tell I didn't solder up there because there's no black oxidation or gross nasties. Fuck it, for like a little funny little project. Now what's going to be the hard part about this? This is dead soft now. We're going to have to harden this without killing it. I think honestly the best way to do that would be to do the ring expander from the inside, because then you can kind of work hard and compress, stretch the metal without getting the hammered texture on there, and it wouldn't hurt the balls up here. But what I'll do is I'll work hard in everywhere except for this section. This section is just going to be too delicate. And I'll leave those balls dead soft, because I do not have a ring expander. You know, they're not coming off. They're on there. I think the pre-drilling really helped setting. They would have just rolled right off. And I didn't drill very thick. I mean, you saw what I did. It's currently sitting at a 6 1/4. Let's just see if anything blows up first. Okay. Nothing's blowing up. So we're at 6 3/4. So this will be like a 7 1/4. It's kind of warped. That's good. That's what you want. It's not coming apart. It's done. It looks like this now. It doesn't look any different. It's opened up to a 7 1/4 from about 6 1/4. That's good. Whoop, whoop. Oh, I lost one. Okay. One of them failed. That's fine. It's a learning experience. So one of them failed just now. He didn't fail catastrophic. He let right off. He's a best 1/4 right now. So now the question is, do I replace him or do I keep going because he's still on there? Keep going with him because he's got a little bit. And that one seems, they all seem fine. I'm gonna burn myself and pickle it this time. The pickling is gonna help with the solder joint not getting all crusty and gross. Use your brass to save your brass. Now what's the problem here? The problem is all the shine I had going on is gone, and also it's gonna no longer be a 7 1/4. It'll probably be a little bit bigger than that because I have to re-harden this. I'm glad I went with the same ball because now I trust it more, because it was on there 1/4 and now it's on there hopefully at least 3/4 of the surface area on the bottom. The worst part of this design is when you hammer a flat face like this, you get the mushroom effect off the cliff here. So this is real sharp up there. I'm gonna have to file that all down, and then I'm gonna have to hammer it, and then I'm gonna have to size it, and then I'm gonna have to file it again. I bet if I catch it with my file, I can take a ball right off. Hopefully not, but I bet you I could. I have to size it again. We're sitting at just about a 7. Not for long there, bud. This is a 7 1/2 now, which is fine. I mean, that's fine. It's cool. It's still saleable. It was an experiment. So now the experiment is, why would you ever want 3 tiny balls on top of your ring? I don't know. Maybe you would. Maybe the design aspect here is that we just do, you know, smaller and smaller balls off to the sides here. Make kind of like a cool gradient design. I wonder if these are adding structural integrity. Okay, welcome back. One last time. I think putting the shine on this guy is going to be kind of hard. Silly looking. Or maybe I'll give it a full chooch, and we'll just see if they fly off. Oh, yeah. Full chooch? No, I think they're too weak.